Welcome back, everyone. There's something very substantial happening over these next few days, and you should really inform yourself about it. You should really be in the know about what's going on. It affects everyone from the average Joe with a 401k to the hedge fund, billionaire, manager, to millionaires, to small investors, long-term investors. It really affects everyone, and we're going to be talking about it in this video. In fact, myself included, I have taken swift action in light of this occurrence, and it's the fact that Apple is doing a stock split. That's right, Apple stock. Apple is doing another stock split. This will be their 5th stock split in the company's history, and it's a 4-for-1 stock split. That's a 4-for-1 stock split. The last time Apple has done a stock split was all the way back in 2014, so it has been over 6 years. This will mark its next stock split. The one it did back in 2014 was a 7-for-1 stock split, a 7-for-1 stock split. This is set to occur after the trading close day of August 28th, and so come August 31st, which is a Monday, you will see the new price of Apple. But for newbie investors and people that are just not privy to what a stock split is, this might be your first stock split in your entire investing history. If you're a new investor or just got started investing in the investing game over the last couple of years, this could very well be your first ever stock split. So we'll be talking about what a stock split is, revealing the true definition of it, and simplifying it down for you. And then we'll also look at what action I have taken so far. So to truly dumb it down for you and put it into the most simplest terms that we can, I'm going to show you an email that Robinhood sent out. Now, I don't know if they sent this out to all Robinhood users or just shareholders of Apple. Of course, I have my Apple stock in the Robinhood account, my Robinhood portfolio. So I only know that I got it. I don't know if it went out to every single person that uses Robinhood. You can let me know down below in the description. If you just so happen to use Robinhood and you just so happen to not own Apple, let me know if you got this email, but I'm pretty sure this went out to Apple shareholders. This is the email from Robinhood. Hi Logan, how Apple's 2020 stock split affects you. So, since you're an Apple shareholder, so I'm going to assume that this went out to specifically Apple shareholders in Robinhood, we wanted to get in touch about the upcoming Apple AAPL ticker symbol stock split. On August 31st, 2020, Apple will perform a 4-for-1 forward stock split. So if you don't know, there's a reverse stock split, but in this case, it is just a forward stock split. This is the typical stock split that a company will do, a lot more commonplace. You go on to say, even if you buy Apple after the record date of August 24th, anyone who holds Apple at market open on the effective date, August 31st, will be impacted. So if you plan on holding on to your Apple shares, here's exactly what will happen. At the start of the day on August 31st, you will hold 4 times the number of shares of Apple that you held prior to the split. So, very easy. If you only had 1 share of Apple, you'll now own 4 shares. But how is that possible? Are you going to make more money? Nope. It all stays the same. Nothing actually happens, and the email goes on to explain this. If you currently own fractional shares of Apple, after the split you will hold 4 times that of the fractional amount. So if you had, say, a quarter of a fraction, as you know with Robinhood, you can buy fractions of shares now. It's a recent implementation that Robinhood has put into their features, and you can go ahead and use my link down below in the description. Sign up with Robinhood, you'll get a free stock on me. Let me know what stock you do get when you use my link down below and sign up with Robinhood. I'm curious to see what you get. I'll let you know what I get as well. The price per share will decrease to about 1/4 of the closing price from the previous day. This accounts for the increase in the overall number of shares. For example, if you currently own 1 share of Apple worth $400, which is very likely. If you just bought Apple recently, you might have gotten in at about $400. It's been soaring to record highs day after day, new high after new high, and it was just $400 just a couple weeks ago, and already it has surpassed $500. After the split, you will own 4 shares of Apple worth $100 per share, with your overall value remaining at $400. So the crucial key point here is nothing actually changes to your equity, your stake. It remains the exact same. It's all relative. So if you had 1 share worth $400, you will now own 4 shares worth $100 each. If you had 5 shares, you'll now own 20. If you own 20 shares, you'll now own 80. Goes on and on and on. For example, in my Robinhood portfolio right now, I currently own a little bit over because of the fractional reinvestments of dividends. I currently own 50 shares, 50. That number will increase to 200 for myself. That's the 4-for-1 stock split there. But it's not like I make 4 times the amount. It's all relative, so the price of Apple will actually be cut by 1/4. So again, Robinhood emphasizes the overall dollar value of your investment will not change. say you own 4 shares of Apple. If you imagine your total Apple investment as a pizza cut into 4 big slices, think of this stock split as you're slicing that pizza into 16 smaller slices. So the whole pizza doesn't increase in size, it remains the same pizza, but you just cut it up into even more slices. That's a great way to put it. Please know that Apple shareholders will be affected by this corporate action, and this was not Robinhood's decision. If you want to learn more, blah, blah, blah. So this is an Apple corporate decision. Tim Cook, CEO. This was all within the management there. This doesn't have to do with your broker, so don't get mad at your brokerage account. But again, it will not impact you. But why do companies do stock splits? In fact, Tesla is doing a 7-for-1 stock split. Why do companies do stock splits? Well, the answer is not as technical as you might think it is. In fact, it's very straightforward. A company will do a stock split in order to keep their price attractive to investors. For example, Tesla stock over just the past year has soared more than 900%, and it's now over $2,100 per share. So to keep their price attractive and keep new investors coming in and being able to afford the share price, they're doing a stock split, a 7-for-1 stock split, so the current price will now be divided by 7. Apple, not as expensive as Tesla, although it's been hitting high after record high, and now it's over $500 a share. I started buying Apple when it was like in the low 200s, and that was not too long ago. Apple rapidly soared and came back from the worst of the pandemic, March 23rd that is the worst day of the pandemic. They quickly soared back up, and now it's more than double the price that you could have bought it for on March 23rd. Basic math, the stock closed at 506.09 today. Today is Wednesday. The stock closed 506.09, which is another record high. At least a closing record high. That's the highest Apple has ever closed. And so 1/4 of that, if the split were to be performed right now, this second, that would mean that you would see a share of Apple be cut to 126.52, about 53 there, depending on how they round it, but 126.52. And that is how much the new price of Apple will be. And this stock split is subsequently following a major milestone for the iPhone maker. In fact, the company just became the highest valued, the largest company on the planet, surpassing Saudi Aramco oil. Last week, Apple's market cap surpassed $2 trillion. In the following days, that number continued to climb to about $2.16 trillion on Monday. That beat Saudi Aramco's record $2.03 trillion market cap peak, which it reached back in December. Now the obvious question comes up, what should you do here? Should you buy before the split or after the split? Well, the answer to that question is, it doesn't truly matter. Apple is showing no signs of stopping. It has been growing exponentially, and analysts just put a $600 price target on the stock. That was after that analyst put a $500 price target on the stock. And now analysts are saying that with the new rollout of 5G technology, if Apple can become the titan of that industry, that can increase the company by another 40% in a hypothetical scenario. So the 4-for-1 stock split will not change the value of any investor's total holding of Apple, like I had mentioned. It will just grow the number of shares making up that pot. So if a potential investor has a set amount of money that they want to invest in the company, it wouldn't necessarily matter if they bought before or after the split. Chief among the upcoming growth drivers is the 5G iPhone, which is widely expected to launch this fall. The new technology, which will allow iPhones to connect to the next generation of super fast wireless networks, is a big advancement that could prompt a, quote, super cycle of consumers upgrading their devices. An analyst at Wedbush Securities said, quote, "We believe iPhone 12 represents the most significant product cycle for Apple CEO Tim Cook and co. since iPhone 6 in 2014, and will be another defining chapter in the Apple growth story looking ahead." So the answer is, if you can afford Apple stock right now, then that investment will continue to pay off. If you can't afford it right now, wait for that stock split and you could buy then. But relatively speaking, with the massive amount of hype that's going to come through and the cheapest amount that you could have bought Apple for in years, this stock could run up very well, double the price within the next 12 months. So if you're going to want to wait for that stock split, you want to get in as soon as possible following that split. So what steps have I taken? Well, I truly don't know if I'm going to be able to get in before or after the split, and that's just because my funds may not settle before or after the weekend when the market will be closed. I don't know yet, and it took a little bit for me to decide to do this, but I decided to do it. Kind of a last-minute decision, but hopefully I'll be able to get in at a very good price. So I'm not selling any of my Apple stake. I still have that. I have 50 shares, a little bit over, fraction about above 50 shares, and I'm keeping that in my Robinhood portfolio. That is not getting touched, so those 50 shares will turn into 200. That equity now stands at over $25,000, I believe, last time I checked. but the trading day today, Apple soared again, so I'll have to check. But what I did do was I decided to sell all of my stake in VOO, so that's an S&P 500 index fund. A lot of you long-term investors might get mad at me, but don't worry, I still have my Roth IRA, which has been maxed out, so I can't contribute any more than that. I already did all the maximum contributions for 2020, and so I won't be able to contribute more. My Roth IRA is maxed out. I have VFIAX or VFIAX in my Roth IRA, but then I have in a separate E-Trade portfolio, I have about $50,000 in there, 46,000 of it being about VOO, and I sold all of it. Here's the footage to prove it. You could see me here. I sold, don't even recall what it was. I woke up to get in on the market. Usually I go to bed very late, and so I'm not able to get in right when the market opens. So I did decide to wake up and get in on time to go ahead and sell my shares at market price. So I sold all my shares. That's about $46,000. I'll double check there, but very substantial amount of money. And then I have cash on the side that I'm just going to call it about $50,000 equal that I am planning on putting in Apple stock. The reason is because Apple stock tends to perform very well. People get optimistic about a stock split. That is something that people look at a positive way. People have positive sentiment towards a stock split because it means that the company is confident in its growth and continues to expect to grow. So I want to go all in on Apple. I'm very confident in Apple, and I'll continue to put money in an S&P 500 index fund. Any money that I accrue over the next few months, I'll just naturally put it in like I've been doing. And that's how I have been able to build that about $50,000 worth of VOO stake. And so I am selling all of it. I already sold it, and I'm planning on putting it all in Apple. And I'll do a follow-up video for you guys as well. We'll talk more about this Apple stock split after it happens. I might do another video right before it happens. We'll see what I can squeeze in for you guys. But I'll be doing a follow-up video showing you all of my stake in Apple. This will also cause my Robinhood portfolio to cross well over $100,000. That's because my money has been mostly split up, but now most of my money is going to be put into Robinhood. Robinhood is going to be basically my core portfolio, where most of my net worth is going to be after this stock split and after I buy up all these shares of Apple. So rather excited. This is basically the largest purchase I've ever made. It's kind of like buying a house for a lower income area. This is basically the largest purchase I've ever made before. So it is exciting stuff, and I'll be showing you guys what I'm doing with Apple. Obviously, I've already made a great deal of return with Apple as I started buying it well over a year ago, 2 years ago in my Robinhood portfolio. I owned Apple prior to that, but remember, if you look back at some of my videos, you'll know, the OG fans will know that I transferred a lot of my money from E-Trade to Robinhood. So this video, I just wanted to cover briefly what a stock split is and why a company may do it, and also what action I was taking for the stock split. I'm curious to know what you guys will be doing. Are you Apple shareholders, or are you planning on investing in Apple before or after the split? Let me know down below in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going, but watch out. I will be making more videos on Apple coming very soon, so you are going to be subscribed so that way you do not miss any future updates. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got value out of it, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, smash that like button. Just help with that YouTube algorithm. YouTube will push the video out to even more people, so they'll be able to see what to do when it comes to the Apple stock split. And if you want to see more of this on my channel, I do post videos every single week covering business, finance, investing, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure you do click that big red button, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell as well, so you're notified every single time I make a new video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Good luck, Apple shareholders. See you next time.